One issue more than any other drove me to seek this office in 2018. More than anything else, I wanted to be part of bringing Oregon from the wild, wild west of limitless campaign cash to a straightforward system that would restore some measure of public trust in government. When I came to my first session in 2019, President Courtney created a Senate Campaign Finance Committee. There wasn't one before, and there hasn't been one since, and gave me the gavel. The vice chair of that committee was our current minority leader, and together we passed SJR 18. That became Measure 107 on the 2020 ballot, as the majority leader just referred to, and Oregonians approved it by a 78 to 22% margin. Oregonians want campaign finance reform. In the years since, I've asked hundreds of people, mostly constituents, what they mean by that. To oversimplify and crunch things together a little bit, they told me they want two things. Number one, limits that don't let any person or organization that wants certain legislative outcomes give us what I call distractingly large contributions. Those that sometimes make minds wander to what donors will think as we're about to cast difficult votes. And number two, a system that's not so crammed with different contribution conduits that it's really hard to follow the money. That's a recipe for less public trust, not more. The systems in most other states I've studied meet both basic tests. Some of us have brought to this body bills that meet both tests. But the more you read the details of this 49-page bill, the plainer it becomes that HB 4024 does not. I'm worried about what this bill will cost us in public trust. For the last 6 years, I've been working with what have come to be called the good government groups. I know that not everyone calls them that. Primarily Common Cause, the League of Women Voters, and Honest Elections. They do fine work in the public interest and meticulously research best campaign finance practices around the country. The fact that they contributed to this compromise made me examine the bill extra carefully. I see their fingerprints there, particularly the language around transparency and proliferation, and the bill's better for it. There is very good work in here. I took note of the testimony of Honest Elections and Common Cause in Senate Rules this afternoon about how much improvement has to happen beyond this bill to achieve true reform. I also understand the valid concern that limits could increase the power of independent expenditures, the crippling legacy of Citizens United, and clearly the biggest obstacle to good reform. But it is exactly the same problem facing the many other states that set substantially lower limits with simpler designs, and their elections proceed just fine. I'm hoping the very real national problem of independent expenditures doesn't drive us to a system that disappoints Oregonians waiting for reform. Mr. President, I mean this. I want to extend sincere thanks to the good government groups, labor groups, business groups, everyone else who gave up some of what they wanted in the spirit of compromise. But finally, as I stand here today, what I most want is what I most wanted when I filed for this office 6 years ago: real campaign finance reform for our state. Reform that offers Oregonians what they want, where you can follow the money and where no entity with clear interest in how legislation turns out can give us distractingly large total donations. If we don't check those two boxes, I don't see us making any progress towards building public trust in our work here, which I hold to be the most basic reason we're doing all of this in the first place. After waiting 6 sessions to vote on campaign finance reform, Mr. President, I cast my no vote today with real sadness. I hope we have opportunities down the line to give Oregonians something much closer to what they want in campaign finance reform. Thank you.